in general.
Now, there is new research out by the Co-op today that shows women without menopause support in the workplace are far likelier to experience increased anxiety, depression and lack of confidence. More than half of managers in the UK don't feel confident in supporting a colleague going through it. The company launched its menopause policy back in 2019 and is now releasing it to other employers for free. Let's talk to Heather Jackson, co-founder of Gen M, the menopause partner of brands, which works with companies on improving how women with the menopause go through their work life. Afternoon, Heather.
Good afternoon, and thank you very much for having me on this evening.
It's great to have you on. Olivier Pickard joined us as well, pharmacist in Berkshire and a board member of the National Pharmacy Association. Hello again, Olivier.
Hi, Claire. Thank you for having me on.
Heather, let's start with you then. The Co-op, I mean, this is a great initiative, isn't it? They've done a lot of research and they're saying, look, here's what we do in the workplace, have our policy for free. What do you think about that as a plan?
Well, absolutely, it's brilliant. The Co-op are a founding partner of Gen M, who all united 60 plus brands, and it's growing to actually recognise that we need to raise the awareness of menopause, not only just in the workplace, but outside for society, because it is a societal issue, not a workplace issue per se, or a gender or medical issue. So the Co-op coming together, building a guide that can actually now be shared with their competitors, with any company. If you're running a company, whether it be a two-man company or a two-woman company or a 1,000 company, get in touch with the Co-op and download their free guide, because it helps you understand what managers need in their training and understanding of the awareness of menopause to make the experience better for those in menopause in the workplace.
And it helps everybody, doesn't it? Because it helps women know what their rights are. They can speak up and talk to someone, but it also helps people who may be bosses have never experienced this or never spoken about it openly. Yeah. Everybody needs this kind of transparency and openness, don't they?
Absolutely, and I do hate the word when we go straight into the legals and knowing our rights. Actually, no one's got it right with menopause at the moment. We as women, there's 48 symptoms, and our evidence shows with Gen M that most women only know between 3 and 5. So until we normalise the conversation and absolutely recognise there's 48 symptoms, and we as women and society need to recognise them as well, we can't put the best policies in place in companies. We need these brands and organisations to unite as a voice and have the reach to get to consumer, colleague, partner, supplier, distributor, to actually have them recognise the menopause as well and help normalise the conversation. Because believe me, with the government are pushing on the a czar of the HRT czar, which is brilliant, but actually we need a menopause czar rather than a HRT czar, because HRT is only one part of the menopause. The menopause is so much bigger than just HRT.
That's a very good point. We're going to talk about HRT though briefly with the time we have left before 6 o'clock with Olivier, because we were hearing Yasmin. We spoke to her earlier on the programme, earlier in the week on Drive, Olivier, and she was mixing and matching her medications because she couldn't get the gel that she needs. We now have a czar for HRT. What should she do? Because there's a real problem here, isn't there?
Yeah, and I think it's fair to say that it takes a while for any woman to find the right choice of medicine. And it should also be fair to say that there are lifestyle measures or non-hormonal treatment that can be used. But you're correct. When a particular product becomes unavailable, then it can be really difficult for a particular patient to find the right medicine for them.
So what about this idea that was being suggested before we had a name for this czar, that you should just allow pharmacists like yourself to say, OK, if we haven't got this one in, this one here is very similar, without the woman having to go back to the doctor?
Yeah, and unfortunately, currently, due to the legislation, women are being pushed from pillar to post in order to get access to the right treatment. And that's not right. And pharmacists are medicines experts. They're the front door to health for many people. And a simple change in the legislation to allow either pharmacists to share medicines between branches or between pharmacies, or even to do minor prescription adjustment without having to refer the patient to the GP would make a huge difference.
And I just want to know, Olivier, from your point of view then, knowing what you've got on your shelves, would that sort the problem out where you are if you were able to do that?
I think it would, and I think it would allow sort of a quicker access to treatment than sending patient back to a GP or to a private prescriber. And I do welcome the idea of this HRT tsar, because it will allow a easier access throughout the country, where maybe the supply is better in parts of the country rather than others. And that's mainly due to the fact that different prescribing habits in different areas of the country will dictate where a product becomes available or unavailable.
Well, let's hope we see some movement on that soon, because there's an awful lot of women listening to this, no doubt, who are very concerned about where they're going to get their HRT prescription from. Olivier Picard, thanks for joining us, Olivier, again. Always good to talk to you. Pharmacist in Berkshire, board member of the National Pharmacy Association. And Heather, have a great weekend. And Heather, have a great weekend. And Heather, have a great weekend. And Heather, have a great weekend.